And we're back. Hello, once again. This is Hambbage, and I'm glad to have you here in another exciting episode of Hambbage's Hardcore Vanilla Minecraft. Hope you're ready to see some slow cooking action and taste up all the excitement that we're able to manage. Uh, with little further ado, let's dive back in here. Think we're squared away, so pop, pop, pop. And the splash there, very influential in its own circle. Well, we're trying to make a circle, if we can. Will we follow coastline back to find that we're spawned on a massive continental scale island? Or instead, will we discover that we're just amid a few puddle-like seas in the midst of a bigger continent? That's only one way to find out, is to keep going. I think I'm gonna grab the boat. Now, this is gonna leave us a little... Maybe I shouldn't have grabbed the boat. Maybe I should have used the boat. Let's use the boat, huh? This will be interesting, since this is so wet. If we got lucky and found a guardian temple around here, this would be pretty sweet, because the half on the water as this is, it definitely facilitates these guys being stuck. So how are we gonna do this? The first thing we're gonna do is get our bow out. Then we're gonna kind of get some bad omen. We know that. Ooh. Okay, now you guys can go be stuck inside while I get a snack. Ooh. Come on back inside. Now, when I say, yeah, we can come in and clear out an outpost, important to remember that we never really can. They will keep spawning in this area, and that's what makes raid farms, totem farms, all that work, is that this space, regardless of the structure, right? We can burn this to the ground or blow it up, doesn't matter. It will, and as I said, there's a lot of just trash up here. I was hoping for a bottle of enchanting. That's kind of the best thing. If we didn't have potatoes or carrots, it would certainly be a nice treat to get those, but I thought you were almost assured a bottle of enchanting each. I hear somebody else. But yeah, that's not a ton to them. They will go, and you can clear everything around here and kind of make this a spawning area. And actually, by the placement of a villager to constitute a village, you can actually just farm raids, get totems, and keep rolling along. Now, once we get clear, we're back to a birch forest. It's a new chunk, right? This taiga may connect all the way back across to our other that we've kind of looped around. Once we're clear here, caught a few arrows there. I wanted to look at our bad omen. You can see we're at bad omen 2 now. And that was because we killed 2 of the top level pillagers, the leader, the banner guys. So by taking them out, each level that you gain in bad omen strengthens the the raid that you're going to have to fight in the village. Ooh, there's another temple. So while we're here, let's get a few of these new things stowed away. We don't need banners and we don't need a crossbow. So we'll drop those off. I think the endless low-level sea there is a good place to drop the gravel. We'll just run it. Let's put a torch here by our boat. Can help find it. So that was it's kind of fun. I like running around and just, setting up a whole mass of those guys, trying to get them to shoot each other, all that good fun. It's pretty entertaining. Definitely watch some fun, if you don't care about that structure at all, just dropping a bucket of lava off the top level and watching them scurry is kind of entertaining in a sadistic sort of way. I mean, it's not cool, but it's kind of entertaining. So there's all kinds of fun you can have with those, and the fact that they continue to spawn, if you can regulate that a bit, definitely makes it a bit more of a what you call it? More of a like a spawner type situation than just going out adventuring. So I don't know. Your mileage may vary on those. I enjoy them every once in a while, but they do feel a little bit flat, just on the lack of treasure, really. That it's kind of after a minute, it's kind of like, why am I grinding all these? But again, they have some of the most functional use in the game when you factor in that they are how you farm raids, and that's totems, and totems are hugely important. So swap there, swap there, swap there, swap there. I don't know, man. Do we still take saddles? We'll still take golden apples. What do you got? Power 2. Don't care. Pretty thin. Oh, we were gonna do the milk too. When you're out adventuring, definitely take a moment to clear your bad omen. Unless you just don't care about the village, or you want to, kind of ad hoc fight a raid. All of which can be pretty entertaining, but we just want to explore. We're not trying to cause no trouble for a bunch of villagers who have nothing to do with us. I mean, that's rude. And without golems, without really setting up or wanting to, I think we're pretty well equipped. We could handle a raid pretty well, but they can get hairy, and I kind of like to story play them up a little bit. Build some backups, kind of play the general, coach up the team a bit, and just enjoy the experience a little more fun and silly. Then if we eventually want to make a full-on farm, maybe someday we'll do that. But hopefully if we need it, we've got a totem once we get to that point, and beyond that, we don't need a whole lot of them. I would just as soon not have to have a steady stream of totems to keep alive. They're no guarantee that your world is safe. They are a cheat death in most circumstances, but there's a lot of ways that you can take some damage and then immediately continue to die. So, as in our World 2, so let's kind of think back on our various deaths. World 1, where the creeper dropped on us in the or came up the steps, I think, is the steps that we'd carved down to the treasure room. It came up behind us inside a desert temple we'd kind of carved out as our base and blew up. Great place for a totem, right? Single creeper detonation. Totem, that's kind of what it's made for, right? It will take that damage. You'll end up with a harder couple of them, and it will then give you absorption so that you have just a second to try to deal, and we'll let you kind of regen your health and move about your way. Second world, I don't know. It may have made the difference. If we had a totem and it popped, it may have given us enough of a chance to get back clear of that lava pit. But no guarantee there. And it's night. We were so close to kind of cooking away that I don't know that it would have added a whole lot more to us. It would have popped us back. We would have seen a little effect and ended up there, but the lava would have very quickly just taken the regained health that we got, and that would have been the end. So that's not a really good situation for it. Third world was third world. Yeah, third world was Hondo, and that was just another drop creeper. We'd found ourselves very quickly in a giant tree taiga. We'd kind of identified a place where we'd like to build a home, and it started kind of mining across a little creek. And I think that one was just a creeper that dropped. We thought we were clear of it, and it blew, took us with it. And so a one episode tragic world. That one again, good opportunity for a totem. You'd never have one in that circumstance, but a good opportunity where it would have likely allowed us to continue on unchecked. And the same thing probably with level 4. That was the El Cano world. We had drawn aggro from an enderman and been chased by a creeper, and we're kind of retreating back and got worked. And that one, the creeper going off may have taken out or weakened enough of the opposition that we would have been okay. Maybe. I'm not certain of that, but certainly possible. We're gonna keep going for the open water. See if we really do circle back around to kind of the part of the continent, at least where we cut across to get to the jungle. I don't no idea what's ahead of us out here. That's why we're exploring. But yeah, so I think with the exception of World 2, they would have certainly been helpful. But anytime lava, void, combinations of mobs where you're not clear, or when you're in a raid situation and there are waves of mobs, that totem may pop and give you some more protection, but the next wave may be right there to get you. So that can be a problem, and it's all stuff you want to try to keep learning from as you play. Okay, let's back across. So now you can see our X. We've actually crossed beyond spawn. Oh, you're not. Oh, it's because we're... So we're a very long way north of our initial spawn. at this point we're heading back towards spawn on the XY, and we've actually come more east. So by heading west, we're actually going back towards it. So we're on the jungle side, if you think of it that way, of the spawn point. But we're so far north of it that this would have to take us back quite a ways before we ever really got in range. I think that's enough of the chords and directions for a moment. Let's see what this water is. And again, I'm trying to keep our landmass to our right and circle around it. If we keep doing that, ultimately we'll wrap back around to where we started from. That would be quite an endeavor, because we know like our first igloo was way out on a shore. So if this is truly a continent in the midst of a larger ocean, it could be a very long boat ride, and likely we get back close enough that we just hop out of the boat and trot on over to home. If, on the other hand, it's sea, that right would eventually keep looping us back the other way, and we would have looped all the way around the water. I also think that's very unlikely. There's so much more stuff out there in the world. There'd be other islands we'd be circling around and all kinds of stuff. We'd probably never make that full venture. So, but to the best of my knowledge, this is still the same landmass that our home is on, to our right, and we're just kind of cruising along. Now we're going back north, right kind of on our spawn chords, but way, way, way north already of where we started. So not gonna loop back anytime too quickly, at least. So that's something worth noting. Another town. Again, good reason to have that milk with us, and that's actually something we might consider here as we, hey, little tropical fish, as we scan along these savannas. We should refill our milk bucket at some point, just in case we see any cows. I don't see any cows. Just in case we get another bad omen, then we've got the milk all ready to go. We don't have to go in search of it. Out here, if we accidentally trigger a raid, we can hang in there as long as we can. Try to manage it. Oh, you don't always see the little ironwork shop, blacksmith shop in the tools. I'm not going to take any of your stuff, buddy, if you're even around, but yeah. It'd have to be pretty early on. I mean, the iron of those is awesome when you're getting started. If you're lucky enough to get a village with a shop like that, can make a great difference. When you don't have gear and every piece of iron is spoken for like 4 times over, it'd be a great start, but not something we need too desperately at this point. Lots of pickles along the way there. Maybe another island village over there, or maybe we're just headed into a big bay. Kind of the fun, you never know. Maybe a ship up there in the distance. Do we still want to do ships, or do we want to keep pushing on? That doesn't look like much of a ship. It's kind of on its side. I think we're looking at the keel. And more of what I thought, but not much in the way of chests. There may be one food chest, but since we have all of our food needs more than well met, we'll leave as is. Another outpost there. Kind of do a bit more looking for temple around here. Again, you find a pillager outpost and a guardian temple close by each other. That's worth noting for an eventual how did we get here run. But I don't see that we have that immediately. We're just going to aim over here for this point of land. Get our beauty sleep. A little sip. Blop. And continue on. We got some cool looking mountains over here. Bumping into a cod. Beehives, or bee nests, if we saw those. We still need 3. Worth a look. Hopefully this is an island. I'm gonna have to go. Oh, one of the guys, but we haven't seen a cow. So we don't have new milk. We'll leave them be. We took out enough of their friends recently. Their numbers have been thinned. Cool big cave up there. Any of these kind of overhangs are nice. Sometimes you can kind of glass those in and make a nice home. I think we'll just kind of, when we do decide to go back home, we'll just kind of do our best to aim, pick a direction, and hope to make it. I still have a decent idea of, kind of where we're headed, and a little east northeast. Just a bit more, and we're east. So when we had gotten over past spawn, we kind of started looping back down, like maybe we were on an island or a continent or whatever, and we're about to wrap back around it to the jungle, and then it turned again, and we started dominantly heading back north. And now we're actually coming back across spawn, or in that direction. So we're headed west now, and northwest was the way we initially took off. So more or less most of our journey has been north, and we've kind of been going back east and west on the the ins and outs of the coastline. But that's I mean, if we look at the numbers, right, we're still right around spawn on the XY, east-west, and we're 4,000 blocks to the north. So, and that's cool. As soon as we get out, we know 600-700 on the west side of spawn will put us more or less where we need to then then round the point eventually and go back into home. And, you know, to the best of our ability, we can just kind of follow that back and hopefully not get too turned around where we're backtracking as we go. So, and we love to see more desert temples as we go. Steady as she goes. Here's Skelly somewhere, probably downstairs. Better the Skelly that you hear than the creeper you don't. He didn't see us. Oh, come on, dude. Ow. Boop. Don't really want them, don't really need them, but that's why we have the chest downstairs. Break this with a torch. And yeah, I could be grabbing all the various TNTs as we go, and probably should be, but it's extra harvesting time. Again, you know, it gets a little sad because you start what had once been so much potentially game-changing loot just becomes a hunt for enchanted golden apples. But these are the best means of getting that item in the game. The abandoned mine shafts are good too. They're both very low probabilities, but I think one or the other has slightly higher. I don't remember which, but they're both like, you know, trident level rare when it comes down to it. So I was rightly amazed when we pulled an enchanted golden apple in that first chest, I think, in the first desert temple we hit. It was mind-boggling how good that fortune was. And we wasted it. So, we'll see. But, I mean, it gives us something to look for, right? And we do need, for the advancements, we need to find one. You have to eat something, one of each thing in the game. Now, we can save it and use it in the specifically when we're doing the how do we get here, so that the effect of, is it absorption? I think, yeah, because the regen would come. So I think it's absorption with the enchanted golden apple. Or you can get that as one of the beacon effects. And if that's the case, sometimes it's good to at least have the option of using, if you don't just use it outright, fighting the wither. So both pretty good options. In my villager parlance. Ooh, is that flower forest over there? Can we get to it? I don't think we're particularly... We've got so many flower forests close by us back home. But the bee nests wouldn't be bad. If we can find some over there. Okay, let's... do this right. We need this. Don't need those. What are we not seeing a lot more of? A diamond, maybe this. Sea lantern, maybe? I don't know. A lapis. Prismarine, we rarely see at all. So we'll put those away. Yeah, I mean, I guess we can, you know... Oh, we won't be grabbing any more spruce wood either, so let's put that away. Some of these other things, you know, if we see more, great, we can open up the chest, but I did want to get that milk back. Hi, cow. I'm just going to put you back away. Alright, let's go see if we can find a bee nest or 3. Now, at some of our flower forests closer to home, that's where we'll want to use our bone meal from our bone meal machine and see if we can't get a, you know, wide variety of flowers to expand the gardens kind of around our bees back home, give them more variety, make the honey, you know, more balanced, complex. And I think, you know, at least here the big trendy deal, you know, I think to some extent it always is clover honey. Always advertised because when clover is prolific in most places. Growing as a wide-spreading weed without much encouragement helps, but you know it becomes if you know your hives are surrounded. Oh, there we go. If you know your hives are surrounded in clover, the bees will go for that, and there we go. Oh, we got it! Woohoo! Awesome. Now, which way are we headed now? Do pretty well when it's that way to home. Let's put these in our chest. We don't have to head back immediately, but I think we may just kind of start swinging in that kind of direction. I don't know. We'll see. What I wanted to do, though, was get the 3 hives into the ender chest, or one of them. Okay, so if that's going to be the case, then I don't think any of the hives will stack. We seem to have a wide variety. What's the most likely other stuff we'll pick up? TNT, perhaps? Yeah. Alright, well that's fairly good. So we are now borderline full for our trip back. Now where were those cows? Did we come over? Yeah, we must have made a kind of a loop through. So there's lava around here, there. We don't want to fall into it. Here were the cows where we got some milk. Out here somewhere is the coast and river that we came in on. Let's just stretch our legs a little bit. We've been sitting in the boat. Our back and core is ripped from all the rowing. But good to get the legs stretched a little bit and blood pumping there, and maybe give our everything we've been using in rowing a chance to ache for a bit and recover. That would just be awful. That was pretty great. We're seeing as much of this world now as we have. We've got a better idea for how things go. We know where the giant tree taiga is going to be if we want to get back to that for mossy cobble, wood, growing up a lot more of our giant spruce trees eventually. Alright, let's find our boat. So we're not, I mean, early in the game, you start with about this many free inventory spots when you go on an adventure because you got to carry so many iron tools and things like that you look at it and you're like, man, we're almost full, but like, move over 3 of the things there and really we're just kind of at normal full level. So I think we can press on a little ways longer. We still, I mean, we keep ticking things off the list. Our bees are now set. We've gotten every bee nest to fill each of the spots in our pattern. So that's one thing done. No trident, no enchanted golden apple yet, and we're still in. Ooh, there's another mushroom. Is that a mushroom with a broken portal in it? That's pretty cool. It's cool that it's that close to land. Most of the ones that I see are kind of out in their own little patch of ocean. This is kind of cool. We'll at least come avail ourselves of their its. Man, that was a big old portal too, wasn't it? Do we see a chest anywhere? Maybe under the mushroom? Would be a good place to hide a chest. Oh. I don't know. I'm not gonna waste a whole lot of time digging for it, but that's a pretty cool spread of. Oh, just stop already. Don't really. Alright. You go in there. Got some more gold blocks. Not getting the crown obsidian. Not going to dig around too much for chests. So let's just kind of loop around the far end here, see how big this is. It's pretty substantial. And knowing again that with Mushroom Islands, you're not going to have mob spawning. At least, and never did look at that. Now that I mention it, I don't know if it's the top mycelium blocks that prevent that, so that if you level them off, that's when the mobs start spawning again. Hey, mushrooms, moves. Or if it's just the biome itself. But I kind of think if you level all that out, that you'll start reintroducing mobs again. May not. I'm not certain. But yeah, it's now it's got a guardian temple, but no. It's a while looking. Where's the entrance and all that? What is that? Oh, is it a skeleton? How cool. No. What is this? I've never seen a structure like this before. I guess it just falls. Ooh, falls into that kind of, underwater ruins type architecture. But I've never seen it. It's like a sort of guardian temple entrance. Not really. Cool. Oh, that's great. Yeah, I mean, so here's some of just the other little doobobs around. Yeah. Out of the way. Keep our inventory cool. I'm just amazed. That's so awesome. For a second, I thought that was one of the, in the Nether, you can find these ancient skeletons, which it seems as though they're doing something within 17. Oh, is that the one we just went to? And if so, was there another chest over here? Get some more pickles that we now have to remember we have 2 stacks of. Let's well, wait a minute. Full breath of air. Must have had like a res. Ooh. Come on. Oh no. Are we flowing? I don't know where I am. This is a little bit sketch. Oh, jeez. Again, so crazy when you have the back and forth of water versus no water. It just totally makes a kind of vertigo. Let's go back over to the Mushroom Island. This has been a cool little diversion. I don't think there's much there. I just was like, oh yeah, let's go down the hole and see where it takes us. But no need to prolong it too much, I don't think. Well, that was cool. Oh wait, I was gonna get the sea lanterns, right? And then I decided to go down into that little cave. Wasn't there? Did I already get it? I don't think so. There's one. Let's try not to lose them this time. Got a nice little sip of air there. Was there any other sea lanterns around? Yeah, there's one. Oh! Really? Not too much that I'm particularly worried about. I don't even have too much trash, really. Oh, well, that's cool. The rest of the illumination. Pickles. Anything on this one? I think that's just the magma. Where's your boat? Well, very cool. Very, very cool. Okay, we were coming around our little island here. And I think this is going to get back towards the corner where the mushroom island. And this may be one of those few where it's actually joined to the land. It certainly seems like it's going to be tough to have water all the way through there, doesn't it? That's wild, too. So is this as rare as I'm thinking it is? Anybody know? Because I really thought, Mushroom Islands were heavily weighted in World Generation to be islands where there was no land connection. But clearly, in this case, it's stitched in here to a desert. And back there was where we started, and we had some trees. So, I don't know. Interesting, though. So, which way do we want to go around? I think let's get back to the kind of the part where we started up at. I think this was it. This'll do it. I'll be so turned around by the time we're done with all this that. Okay, I think we're about back to the first. Yeah, there's the broken portal. So we should be heading southeast, southwest-ish. I'm sorry. Nope. Straight up east. No, I don't have to get out for the desert again. Just kind of make our loop one more time. But when we get out to this further edge, we'll just kind of shoot straight and eventually make our turn. Right? As long as I'm still good. I think based on our current... let me check the time, too, because I really haven't looked. Oh, still awesome. It's a little, having stopped in the middle of this adventure, it's a little tougher to distinguish for me. What, how much have we done before? How far out are we? And in kind of planning that, hey, we're not just going to follow our footsteps back. We want to adventure more. I think this is reasonable. So that was the cool structure that we did some diving on. Let's just go through the middle of this coral reef here. Beautiful. One thing I don't know if other people do. I mean, there's loops on YouTube. If you just go, I've done a very little bit of scuba diving. I got my certification years ago, and have since dove once for the open water trials. But I'd done it as just a tourist in Mexico, where you're just on an intro deal and you don't need to be certified. And it's cool. It wrecks my ears. And I've been certified. I understand the needs to depressurize and all that kind of stuff, but either just through inadvertent stuff or whatever, I'd really struggle with afterwards having issues with my ears. So I'm really glad to have the skills, and I certainly would, but it's not one of those things where I think personally I'm gonna go out of my way, like, oh, hey, let's go find a way to go free diving, or I'm gonna plan a trip specifically around diving. I think, I've talked a lot in the past about how I'm not really a fisherman. I'd just as soon be out in the areas where I'm fishing, and then, with a camera looking at birds or the animals or the wildlife, whatever's around. And diving is kind of an interesting potential merger of those two things. Let me see. This may be back to our same. What was our coordinates here? I won't pull them up for you guys, but I'm just negative 1116 and negative 1307 was the last one. Oop. So yeah, this could all be the same. Let's try going this way. This is why I decided we could kind of start. So again, just so you guys know, we're backtracking a little bit here, but more or less gonna go south and just trying to see what the land looks like, because if we find that we're on the north side of a huge landmass, that may, like this one seems to be, that may push us in the wrong direction, right? Yeah, this is all new. I don't know. Is it an island? Is it land? That's the question for all of our adventuring. Hi, fishies. You guys look cool. But I was saying about diving. I really enjoy it. I'm very, very glad I went through and did the class where I got the certification. I think I would have to refresh it at this point if I was going to actually go do any diving. It's been a while, but learning about what the gas mixtures are and all the safe ways to communicate, and what you need to be aware of when you're in there, and what the rules of good conduct are in a dive situation. All those things are, anytime you can learn a new skill, at least at a base proficiency, which is really what they're going for just that base. You're not a rescue diver, you're not a salvage diver or anything like. You're not even, they have. It's a lot like being a pilot, as I imagine. I've never flown a plane. It's always been an interest to me, but like pilots, right? You have to get separate certifications to fly on instruments. I would imagine like night versus just average daytime flying. Some of those kind of things all have increasingly dependent skill sets. So like you can't just fly on instruments without first knowing how to just fly a single engine prop plane in clear blue sky day. You have to understand what the stick and the flap controls and everything do, and have a basic understanding of flight. Are we all the way back already again? It's just a massive troll of me. We found the bay at the end. We're gonna circle all the way back around to the giant trees, and then I realize we've gone in a circle. Maybe. I don't know. But anyway, diving. Yeah, there's our structure. This may go on, but I'd rather kind of get into new area. I think we've kind of established what we've got to work with out here. And again, we'll continue to explore. But once we get wings, we can just pick a direction and fly. Like, all right, we're gonna fly 10,000 blocks, and then we'll set up a little camp, and we'll bounce around from there and see what else is out there. But just pushing on and on and on in a boat, you got to get back home again. So plan accordingly, right? Okay. So hopefully we're back a little bit more on track. We got to find that edge of our giant trees again, and then this time swing to the east around it. I hope. I'll never see it again. I'll be like, what? What are you doing? So anyway, I've dove a few times. Really enjoyed it. I love the underwater whole new world type part of the experience, seeing different kinds of life on their terms, not on yours, and just being entered into their world. Well, as I'm sure many people may have seen or not, if you just go onto like a YouTube or just online, there's loads and loads of content creators that will make massive loops that either are like soft instrumental music or sounds of rain or wind in a forest or whatever. It's that just kind of chill, sleep, study. If you don't want music specifically, some of those kind of things can be really relaxing. And then they'll it's kind of the Christmas music with a crackling fireplace thing. That may have been where it all started. The whole like Christmas fireplace TV channels that used to pop up in back in the day, right? And they'd have a bunch of Christmas carols, and for like beginning of Christmas Eve day through like Boxing Day, the 26th, they would just run this loop of Christmas music, and every once in a while you'd see this hand reach in and put another log on the fire. It was kind of cool, kind of corny, but a very nice way to kind of get people some access to just ongoing Christmas music, where you don't back then whether it was an album or a cassette or even CDs, instead of just being able to, hey, I'm going to start the 18-hour playlist of Christmas music and not think about it again, instead of having to just be constantly thinking about it, you could just have Christmas music playing. And radio stations do that too, but of course they have ads, they're announcing their call sign, where you're listening to and all that. These would just play, right? And so in that spirit, there's a lot of relaxation stuff where, it'll be like a 10-hour play on YouTube, and you get, whatever it is, animal sounds or falling rain or summer thunderstorm or whatever. Well, in those, they'll often loop or just have a kind of a static artistic image of something that's displayed while it's going. But I don't know any of the history of it. I've just found some of these. There are also some loops of dives, and unfortunately, they're pretty short, and then they'll loop back over. At least the ones that I've found, and by their very nature, right? You can't just stay underwater for hours and hours at a time. You could, but you'd have to. Your safety stops on the way back up would be absolutely forever, and you'd have to have like 18 tanks to do that. So you'd either have to have them like switched out for you, or be able to do that underwater, and whatever. For all intents and purposes, your dives are going to be limited by how much breathable air you have. That's kind of the deal. And calculating how much you need to maintain at a safety stop and not be running out and rushing it and giving yourself the bends, well, part of it. So what that really means is, for all intents and purposes, you can only have limited amounts of dive footage when you're scuba diving. That's, but they have these YouTube, coral reef dive in the, at the Great Barrier Reef in Australia, or Mexico, or wherever there's particularly life choked reefs and stuff. People will do dives and then put up their GoPro or whatever. If they're more elaborate dive camera rigs, I don't know, but they'll put up those experiences. I think that's awesome. I know it's cool to watch. Some of them just have the kind of the audio of the tank and breathing across it that's picked up there from the rig. Others may have music over the top. Some will include text identifying various fish, corals, and plants and things that they, as they kind of swim along, like we do here. Oh, hey, those are poppy flowers. Well, as they're doing a dive, instead of being able to speak, which you can't do while you're diving, for the obvious reasons, the people will, kind of focus on an eel, right? And then when they go back through and they're preparing that video footage, they'll put in text that says, this is this species of eel. There you go, or this is this particular clownfish, whatever the case may be, and you can kind of learn from those. So those are all cool. I think it's so relaxing and cool to just without having to travel or get into that, and it can never do it justice. Like so many things, it's like you can watch somebody carry a camera up to the top of Everest and have seen every inch of the trip, but it will never do justice to climbing a mountain. You don't feel the thin air. You don't experience that I'm on top of the world feeling where everything out to the horizon are massive mountain peaks, but they all are relatively below your feet as you look, and those kinds of things, those kinds of experiences don't go, and cameras don't do justice to slope or pitch very well. I think a lot of folks that do a lot of gaming understand that from FOV settings. But like your average GoPro, and I do a lot of alpine skiing, if you watch a GoPro of somebody skiing down a pitch, you kind of go, oh, that looks simple. I could do that. Until you get up there on the same slope and you're like, wait a minute, I've seen video. This looks like nothing. And then you look down and it looks practically straight down. You can never really experience that same thing. And smells and the relative humidity there. Obviously, diving that's very humid. If you're up on a mountain though, and you get up high, it may feel dry and crisp, cold, clean air because you're kind of up above the settled moisture, and there's just not as much to the air up there. The atmosphere is thinner, so never pass the opportunity to do things by yourselves. But we can't all do everything, right? We got to make decisions about what we do and see. So get out and experience where you can. This is what I was trying to do, just to make sure we're still kind of headed in the right direction. Now, this is where we hope we're not catching. In fact, have we even seen like an edge back up here? Or is this yeah, okay, so we got to go this way, I think. It's where you hope that you're not catching back onto a point that you've already rounded and are about to start the circle again. But I think we're on kind of a different island landmass than the one we came up. We're at this point kind of keeping this one to our right, but we jumped across some open water to get back to it. So I hope we'll at some point be able to cut across open water again and kind of be back towards our home. Just numbers wise though, we're actually pretty darn close. We've been as much as 4,000 blocks away. So in that sense, we're coming back in pretty close, but we're now moving west out into the edge of the bay that we came. Not yet. So diving, relaxation type videos, but just dive accounts on YouTube. I totally like those. Would recommend, along with just classical music, instrumental type playlist things. Like definitely like having some of those things in the background when they go. Um, yeah, I'm really wondering if we're now back into our familiar areas. Are these the ice fields that then on the other end we have the village and the well and everything there? I think maybe. Let's go see if we've pillaged this particular broken portal before. Or are we way too far? I don't know. Yeah, it kind of seems reminiscent. We'll kind of skim the ice here. See what we see. See, we're now there's also where it's possible to just completely overthink it, but we're going west with the negative X values there. Where we've been, so I can't remember. I mean, if that's the ice field, then in the middle of that was where we had the there's the village, right? I think this is the one. There should be the shipwreck in the middle of this somewhere. The well. Remember the well we talked about? Was there grass back into that though? Is there a well? I was kind of lost that well anyway though. Alright, was this the one with the shipwreck? Is this the one with the right town? Finding your way back and trying to convince yourself whether you're really seeing what you think you are, or if it's just similar, can be a bit of a pain. But I think these are homies. We've visited these guys before, I think. We didn't take the hay, but maybe... Yeah, they had this whole bay. Doors are open. Chests. Let's see what's in this chest. Just cacti? I think you guys are homies. Let's go home. The question is how far... How far south did we end up of our base? I think we want to be kind of on a heading like that, maybe. We'll see. We'll see what we run into. What other adventures? But I don't think we're finding new stuff here. I think this is covered ground. Well, it was fun. We found another mushroom island, giant trees, all kinds of shipwrecks and loots along the way. There's our real mushroom island. Hey, real mushrooms. Bloop, bloop, bloop. thought that maybe in talking about the diving and stuff, there was something else that had was kind of leading to, but I don't remember what exactly it was. I think when we get back home, though, just so you guys know, I think that'll probably wrap me up. I've got a few things to do IRL today. A little bit of humaning to maintain my place in society. So life is gonna beckon. I think this will be considered a very good adventure. When all is said and done. It's been a long time in this world since we've been over here. Wish I was a little more confident. exactly what was going, so we didn't overshoot. Hopefully, between our lodge and our jungle trees and our neighbors, we'll kind of know where we're coming in from. A little canyon going under a rise under the water. That's cool. Oh, you can just imagine the arms are just burning. Like, do I have to keep rowing? I don't want to row anymore. I'm so done rowing. Just get me home. I want to see Salty. I want to see S'more. I want to see Guava. And then we'll be... There we go. There's our buddies. Oh, that looks awesome coming from this side. Again, it would have been kind of neat to have more of the sugarcane kind of ringing over on that side, but I like the way we're set up here. Get a nice look. I got our turtles over here. Sugarcane's coming along. We'll swoop in here just to get it loaded and keep growing. There's our jungle trees. Someday we'll have a little grove of sequoias too. Oh, home sweet home. You never looked finer. You'll look finer yet. But for the moment... Oh, S'more, so good to see you. Yeah, I know. We got you out of the water. You didn't drown. Good stuff. Guava, we're home. Yeah, were you a good bird? Oh, good birdie, good birdie. All right. And then Salty. What's up, bud? How you doing? I wish you weren't quite so stuck facing the wall. Can you turn a little? I'm gonna turn here, this way. Lord, he's happy. So now we're well, we should check the time again. But we're kind of in unpacking mode now. Oh, yep. And yep. Alright. Oh, not bad. This is actually going to be a pretty quick one, but again, I'm not going to feel too bad about that. I think we'll take our time here. We'll get unpacked, put everything away nicely. Um, maybe give some thought to future stuff, but at least for the moment, we're pretty good, I think. Ooh, full stack of emeralds over here now, too. Alright, let's go store things away. So, while we got one awesome new biome, we still didn't get the one we're really looking for. Someday we will. Let's put all these away. And we'll have... Oh, should we put sea lantern up top there? Should it get its own? I don't think we're ever going to have a whole bunch. Sea pickle? That needs a box? Does it just go into sea stuff too? Zombie flesh. Gunpowder or TNT goes below gunpowder. We still don't have paper or pickles, lanterns, obsidian. Oh, we can put the bee nests back up. I don't know why I'm slow playing this. Let's just grab all this stuff. We can hang a clock. You go back there. You guys all get picked up. Okay. Didn't we have obsidian over here somewhere? Itchy nose. Did I already lose it? Oh, man. Here, maybe? Oh. Here? Oh, this is so frustrating. Everything's got a spot, but I lost the obsidian. Did we just never do it? I could have sworn that we... Maybe here. No. No. Each of these has an overflow, so they're all by design. Did we decide that I think those would all need extra space. Okay, it's an unmitigated disaster. I don't know where I put the crying obsidian. Did I put it over on the other side, maybe? Because I didn't think it would be nether. There it is. Only a disaster in my own mind. Alright, so that's all we. Let's get our spruce wood back up. Pop. 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 Pickles. We're back in the sea chest. More pickles. Let's start a prismarine box. We had more lanterns. Alright, what else goes downstairs here? We're going to need 3 more frames for the clock and the 2 additional maps. We can maybe use these as it's kind of like putting up like the old band posters and like rock band posters, right, that you used to have in your room as a kid, and you can never quite justify getting rid of them, but you know they're not something you're going to put in your living room or your bedroom as an adult, so you kind of hang them down in the basement, right? They're out of the way. They're not going to catch any grief, but you can still look at them and be like, yeah, still got it. Still got that. Clock. Let's put the clock right here. That way it'll be, first sight, we know, hey, it's the middle of the night as we're going upstairs. We can just loop into bed, or we can keep packing away. Whatever it may be. Chickens sound happy. Okay, 2 more frames, and again, by this point, our room is a bit more defined, right? We're not as likely to get turned around because we don't have. Oh, it almost connects them all together. Oh, that looks great. And then here we'll get the deserty one, I think. Nice. Okay, we still have that. Fully juiced crossbow now. Some more coal. Just trying to let any neighbors that have arrived clear off of their own accord before we go take these bee nests out. Anybody lingering? Doesn't seem that way. We didn't really rush too much. Oh, little bees. You guys are gonna be so happy. So there we have it. We've done pretty darn well in a lot of the aspects of the gameplay here. I don't think at any point have I ever fully, and you can see it hasn't been, right? We've still got a few of these that haven't dripped honey yet. So we still need a few more bees, honestly. But since that hasn't been a priority, I haven't really worried about it. By the time we've finished up, expanding our garden, making that more abundant, we'll hopefully have all the bees we need there. Yeah, I see you. Oh. Okay. Just go ahead and take a little nap in the water there. Yeah, I mean, we're pretty good. I think I'd like to... You know what? We got time, and we're set away here. And we got lots of XP, at least for the moment. So let's do this. I think we have a spare mending book. We got our luck of the sea fishing pole. Let's give it mending. It still wants lure 3, which is going to bring in more, get fish to bite more quickly, which is always nice when you're fishing. But at least for the moment, this should give us a better chance of treasure, and we can kind of fish here for a bit. I do a lot of this when we start working on turtles, right? You got to kind of stick around and protect the eggs, and in and around and between all that, it's a good chance to stand there and do some fishing. But we would really like to get a few puffer fish. We'll need those to get some underwater breathing potions. And with our respiration and everything else, a few of those can really change the game when it comes to guardian temples, and there we go. Oh, hey, that was our first actual fish that we caught with a pole. Everything else we've done the hard way with a sword. So it's good, and it's our first of our water breathing potions. We'll want a few of those. I'd like at least 3. We can make up a full batch of underwater breathing potions, and of course on those we'll make the duration as long as possible with redstone. That'll get us 8 minutes times 9, so lots of underwater time. There's 2, And one more will get us. Now we'll have to wait a while for it, but oh well. And pufferfish, I don't know if they're considered treasure technically. Compared to like the salmon and the cod, but getting a couple of them that quick is certainly nice. We will eventually need to eat a pufferfish as well. That inflicts poison, just as they do when they hit us in the water at times. But that's one of the foods. Eat all the foods, whether healthy or unhealthy. Ironically, or kind of sadly, it's not an exhaustive. Can you believe that? Maybe we'll just keep fishing here for a second. This luck of the sea is pretty good. Yeah, for the I don't remember the name of it, but you have to eat all the foods. Unfortunately, it's not really all the foods. Cake is not included, famously. Oh, that must be guava upstairs. I'm like, well, how? Where? So, yeah, there's some of that. Like, I don't think you have to drink milk. I don't know that counts as one of the foods eaten. But it's something to do there. Maybe that's something we do here as we're winding down today. Is just take a look at where we stand on some of these advancements, the ones that kind of have counters associated to them. Let's do that, but do it downstairs where we can brew these potions. The other thing I'm wondering, I don't think we had a lure book up in our chest. I didn't bother to look, but I think we have, a couple trident enchantments available to us. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, just a row, right? Get all these set. Boom, boom, boom. Get 3 of those. We've got 3 of the pufferfish, and we'll want 3 redstones to make them the long-lasting variety. So again, we don't want to waste our precious pufferfish. Okay, so now those are going. Now, game stops when we look at advancements, but this is kind of fun. We haven't looked at it in a while. So I think we'd done that a little while ago. We haven't even found a trident yet, much less thrown it, but when we do, that one becomes very easy. Then eventually we have to use channeling to apply that to a villager. I've said that's one where you're truly at the mercy of the game in RNG. You have to wait for a thunderstorm and have the right tools. So you want to have that set up and ready as soon as you've got a trident with channeling. Get it ready to go. We've shot arrows, right? We haven't killed a skeleton from 50 feet away. I kind of, idly try at that when we're out in the desert. Someday we'll get it. It's not too tough. This one is actually a little tougher to actually hit the bullseye and know that you're far enough away. It takes a lot of practice. We're only at 19 of 34, so we're kind of slacking a little bit on our various types of monsters. We have a few more of the underwater. We've got probably a lot more in the nether that we haven't even encountered yet that we'll have to kill off. And a couple in the end. So yeah, more work to do there, but again, we'll get them. We haven't even come close to getting totems. We haven't built iron golems yet. We've had them generated, but we haven't used iron to set them up. This is where we'll need piercing on a crossbow. This is a kind of frustrating one where you have to line up two two phantoms in a row, and usually you can't get one-shot kills with a piercing crossbow. So you have to hit them a couple. You have to have a couple weakened phantoms, and then shoot both of them with the same arrow, where it kind of goes straight through one into the next and kills them both. This one's we can do that one right now if we wanted to, and then you have to turn a crossbow on a pillager. Again, pretty easy stuff. Our biomes we're doing very well at. We have one or two more in the Nether because we have a like a soul sand type one, and I don't think that we've seen the basalt delta either. So we've got two at least in the Nether that we haven't seen. We've got two of the bamboo in the jungle, and then we have two of the last elusive mesa, the last elusive biome that's out there. So I think I know what all of those remaining are. We just have to find them, travel around. But that one can be, it can be fun, challenging to get through. What do we have here? Gas with a fireball. This one, you're basically playing ping pong with a ghast. Like you want to bounce its fireball back at it. Pretty easy, actually. This one's a lot more fun, and I have a little system. It's largely based on a lot of what other people have done to kind of automate regenerating golems. But if you set it up right, it's very easy to accomplish, and it actually becomes a kind of a ghast farm where you can farm their tears for making regen potions. So very handy. We've already done that. Just falling into the Nether is easy. We haven't done anything yet with the lodestones. We'll get there. All the netherite stuff is going to be tough. Subspace bubble we'll make lots of use of. We will need to do a lot of netherite farming. And then the wither. We haven't gotten any skulls. We need 3 to even spawn the actual wither. And then we'll want to summon him and kill him. And then that will open up beacony stuff. Every potion effect, we're getting very close to being able to do that. Respawn anchor. This is not something that we can use, but we can charge it up. In hardcore, we're not going to respawn, so nothing there. And this one we'll just have to do. We just kind of tend to kill the piglins at the moment, but at some point we'll bring down some gold, throw it to them, and that'll get us that. We haven't even bothered with striders yet, but again, pretty easy. That replaced, I think there was a gap actually, but it replaced the pig's fly, which was always a favorite one. And yeah, so we have two remaining biomes here. This, it's kind of the same deal. They count in our overworld, discover all the biomes, and they also count down here. I believe, unless I'm missing some. Well, I think that's the way it goes. So, we may actually get 2 for 1 there, depending on what order we find things in. Breed all the animals. Haven't really tried. We've got our farm type animals. I think are the only ones that we've really bred, right? Cows, chickens, certainly, and I think we've fed sheep and pigs along the way just to get them. I'm pretty sure those are the 4. Cat variants, we've only got s'more, but we'll make a concentrated effort on that. Tactical fishing, we can do that one readily enough whenever. And here's our foods. So we've eaten not even half of all the foods in the game, but we can kind of run down the list at some point in the future and try to remember the ones that we've got. And this one is another tragedy. I always enjoyed the use an entire diamond hoe. It makes, just the wording of the advancement shows you that it was intended to be a waste of, a huge waste of time as opposed to just a serious dedication. I mean, when we get to that point, we're going to be upgrading everything with netherite. So it doesn't matter. The fact that we have a hoe, even if we don't use a whole lot of it when we harvest our potatoes and carrots, of course, we're not just going to want to have a lame old diamond hoe and not have netherite when everything else is netherite. So it seems silly, and I'm sure people all want like, oh, why would I have to use a hoe? Well, the way that I always did it, and we'll still do one, but once you got a drop spawner, I just use my hoe as a weapon and kill mobs with it, and it actually takes more durability damage than when you're just hoeing with it. So, I don't know. It seems sad that they kind of jumped away. These will be the last two. This is the just the kind of Minecraft general. You get that one for free. These were all some of the earliest ones, right? You make a pickaxe, you use it on some stone, you upgrade it, you get iron armor, a shield, lava, obsidian. These are natural progression stuff, right? Like get the pickaxe, get some diamonds, make an enchantment, get some diamond armor, and go through the nether portal. And we had done this one very early on because we found the igloo. So we've done all that. We will want to get to the end pretty soon, I think, and go take on our dragon, kill him, get some more, get some actual shulker boxes, and eventually start flying around here. So we're doing very well. Now the end will open up another tab, just so you know. It's not deep or lots of complexity, but there are some more advancements in there. But we're coming along pretty decently. There's plenty we can just, could just go grab at any old time, but we don't need to. So that was a fun timed wise reason to check in on our advancements a little bit. Hadn't done that in a minute. Alright. Pufferfish away. Can put this one in there. Wait for this guy to go. I think as we're going here, I can check the time. This is going to be perfect. We're still going to get a pretty quick episode in, which will be good. Alrighty. So those will all be ready. We'll stash them in here. Alright. Boom, 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 boom. Very, very good. A few little odds and ends to finish our cleanup. And then we'll call it good. I think this has been a good little return to activity and home. We hadn't done a boat trip in a long time, so we got to kind of map out a little more of our coast. Always a good thing. We get to bring home and benefit from all our various loots, which for the most part is, you can't put a price on having more beauty. We've got more decoration going. We got a clock downstairs, and we just got a lot of additional stuff. I don't know that we really ever need this with us, but we've got it if we need it. Yeah, we're all done there. Everybody's getting ready to go to bed. I think let's wind it up before we can start the next episode with sleeping. So let's just get our splash screen, see what the game's got to tell us as words of wisdom to leave by. Who put it there? Why is the bigger question. Who put it there? Thank you all so much. I hope you guys are enjoying watching these as I am creating them. It's absolutely a pleasure to share this world with you guys and its discovery of its various elements. I hope that's been something that you guys get to enjoy a little bit along the way. Please feel free, like, comment, spread the word. If you know a Minecraft player out there that enjoys the hardcore or is just looking for a stream that maybe would share some tactics and tips in the game, as kind of as they're happening, I'd love to have them join our crew. The Guava Jelly Gang grows and grows, so we're glad to have you, and I hope to have others. Take this opportunity, get outside. I hope it's nice where you're at. Even if it's not, there's always something new to see in the great outdoors, and we only get one lifetime to enjoy that. So don't waste it. Make the most, and while you're doing that, take care of yourself. Take care of others if you get the chance, and know that you guys are awesome for being here. I love it, and we'll see you next time. Take care. Bye now.